Hello YouTube chess lovers and my friends, this is Gunjan here. Welcome to the 19th episode of my chess trap series. In this episode, I'm going to show you a wonderful high profile trap in the Queens Gambit Accepted line from the white perspective. Now the QGA arises after the following order: d4, d5, c4, and now accept the pawn with d captures c4. Okay, the main line continues with the move knight to f3, so stopping any e5 idea by black, and black concentrate on his piece development with knight to f6. Okay, e3, so white try to regain the pawn with bishop captures c4, and it is ill-advised for the black to hang on to this extra pawn because then a4 and b3 comes in a flash and the resulting position is quite good for the white. So that's why here the main line continues with the move e6, and after bishop captures c4, black can continue with either of the option. He can immediately play c5, or let's say in this game black plays a6 first, and after white castle, now black plays the move c5. So this is pretty much the starting position of the main line of Queen's Gambit Accepted. Now by far the most popular choice over here is a4 by white, which permanently stops the b5, but as usual I'm going to show you a very surprising line, and in this video I'm going to recommend this move, that is queen to e2. At first sight it doesn't make any sense because it free of cost give black this important tempo b5 and grab every single space on the queen side, but as we move on you will understand the big point behind it. Once again here the most popular choice is bishop b3, but I'm not going to recommend that. Instead of that I propose this tricky move bishop to d3, and the trap is set right here. Now as per the database, here there are mainly two popular choices by the black, and those are c captures d4 and bishop to b7. In this video we are going to concentrate on the move bishop to b7, but I have included a sample line c captures d4 where white obtain a slightly advantageous position. Bishop to b7, and black is completely busted. In fact, he has fallen into our trap, and it is so amazing that this is the most popular choice by black, and there are more than 160 games in database played from this position, where I feel very sorry for the games who has been drawn or the lost by the white pieces. Here by accurate play, white immediately get the winning edge. Our trap start with the move d captures c5. So you can see here there are mainly two choices by the black, and neither of them give any solution to the black side. The first move I want to consider, which is bishop captures c5, which looks more natural as it regain the pawn, develop a piece, and ready to castle on the king side. So what can be wrong in this case? Well, here is the answer. Boom! So suddenly from nowhere, white get a full pawn advantage. If any piece comes in between, then white can take that piece or even retrieve the bishop back, and in that case white will be a clear pawn up. So question arises, what happens if black accept this piece sacrifice? Well, after that I think it's very simple. Yup, queen captures b5, checking the king and same times hitting two pieces, and black cannot defend both the piece. So a simple line can run like this: bishop to c6, queen captures c5, and now yes, indeed black has this move, that is bishop captures f3, and after g captures f3, white king safety is somewhat compromised, but in return white get two pawns, and those are the distant passer on the queen side. So with accurate play, this indeed a winning position for the white. The second most popular choice in this position is knight to c6, which stop this sort of nasty ideas. But here white has this wonderful move b4, consolidating his extra pawn and asking black, hey, what you are going to do next? If black doesn't capture the pawn, then white is a clear pawn up with a very good advantage. So the obvious question need to be arise, what happens if your opponent plays knight captures b4? Well, here the same trick happen. Yup, you guessed it. Bishop captures b5. Bam! Black has two good choices. If he played knight to c6 back, then the simplest is you take this knight, and after bishop takes, you just continue harassing black pieces with knight to d4, hitting the bishop. And it doesn't matter whether black protect the bishop or move somewhere, let's say bishop to d5, but there comes bishop to a3, protecting his extra pawn and once again getting a very good advantageous position. So knight to c6 is not a good solution in this position. More critical is a captures b5, and after queen captures b5, yes, indeed, black is going to lose his piece, but black has this tricky move in the picture, knight to d7. Now, surprisingly enough, in the database, all the game here continue with the move queen captures b4, but I don't like this line. The simple reason is after bishop captures f3, g captures f3, yes, indeed, white won a pawn, but his king safety is severely compromised. So instead of this, my recommendation here is you go for this wonderful attacking and forcing line, queen captures b7. If rook to b8, then queen to e4 is a very strong reply. And I think the reason why white doesn't choose this line because he's afraid of knight to c2, and this is the most critical response in this position. But here white can easily give up an exchange, but in return he get a tremendous activity. Let me demonstrate this by showing you one of my rapid game in this position where against a 2200 rated opponent, I continue with the move rook to d1. It doesn't matter whether black plays queen to c8 or knight captures a1. In this game, black plays knight captures a1, but after rook to d7, attacking the queen. Kindly note, queen cannot capture the rook because his own rook hangs with a check. So in the game, black has to forcefully play queen to c8. And here it looks very tempting to play rook captures f7, but it tactically doesn't work, and let me show you how. If white goes for this, then after queen captures b7, rook captures b7, and now the star move, castle on the queen side. By force, white lose the whole rook. So that's why instead of rook captures f7 in this position, the better move is knight b to d2, and after this our threats are very much potent. There are two good moves in this position. If rook to b8, then queen to c7 is a very strong reply, and the other move which is played in this game, that is bishop captures c5. But after this, by force, white gets the winning advantage with bishop to b2. Black decide to save his knight, but after bishop captures g7, rook to g8, bishop to f6, so there is a threat of rook to d8. And if we count the material at this point, white has a knight and a 2 pawn for a miserably passive rook, which I personally think is a great advantage for the white. Okay, the forcing line continue here with queen captures b7, rook captures b7. Here black cannot play the move rook captures a2, as after rook to b8 the devastation happens on the back rank. And surprisingly enough, engines suggest that black has to give up a piece with knight captures e3, but even after that the resulting position is quite superior for the white. I think my opponent was time trouble in this position and he was struggling to find a better move as he continued with the move bishop to d6, which at first sight stopping the move rook to b8 and threatening the a2. But as it turned out that this is a big time blunder, as after knight to e4 attacking the bishop, bishop to f8, and now knight to e5, and there is no way black can save this game. The game finished very quickly. He played knight to b4. I continue with knight captures f7, and after knight to d5, which threatens the f6 bishop. But what my opponent completely missed is there is a forcing mate in this position. Before I move on, I like you to pause this video and find out a sequence where you checkmate the black king. Okay, are you ready? Let's start. Knight check, bishop captures d6, knight captures d6 check, king to f8 is the only reply, and after rook to f7, a sweet goodnight kiss to the black king. Well, I hope you enjoy and learn this wonderful high profile trap in the Queens Gambit Accepted. Thank you for watching this video. Feel free to write, subscribe and comment on my video, and I'll meet you in my next episode very soon. Bye and take care.